put my hand between her legs, touched her vagina. She didn't have no underwear on. She said, "Get out." What if she calls the police? Like,
extreme manipulation.
All she had to do was just claim rape. Oh my God, she gonna know that I masturbate. Well. She said, when you cheated on me, I wanted to get back at you and cheat on you, but I never wanted to become you.
I ain't cheating.
When I was 7 years old, I was sexually assaulted by my uncle. I'm like, hey, I'm cheating with women I know. Y'all over sleep with prostitutes and everything else.
Wow.
So these other women don't carry your last name. This one does. Hey, I want you to rub this feather on me, when we make love. Well, you shouldn't have never had sex with anybody. You should have saved yourself for me. I was a horrible cheater because I had such a conscience. You don't know her body count.
And I want to ask you, because see, what I do like about that situation is that she actually did at that point, for whatever reason, maybe it was from what you said, she took initiative.
Yep.
She actually did take initiative to bring you and show like, hey, look, this is me putting a step in the door to do this. What would you say to a brother that's in a space where he needs to cultivate his woman and he does not see initiative? So like, what does that look like? What does cultivation in your woman look like when you don't really feel like she's trying? How do you spark her to try to take some initiative?
I think what happens is you have to listen. She said it before, you just missed it. She said it probably year one of your marriage, year one of your relationship, for the first 6 months. She said it. We just don't hear it. A lot of times we talk about active listening, and I had a problem of, and this is why this podcast was so important for me to create Dear Future Wifey, is because I will always listen to respond versus listen to listen. And so on my podcast, I just be like this. Mm-hmm. And I'll just listen to people, and it's allowed me to dial into them on a deeper level. Well, in my marriage, I would be listening to respond, and a lot of times I was responding with, "You ain't doing this for me." You know what I'm saying? It's like internally I would feel like that and be like, and didn't even think about, I'm telling you, it literally took, we've been divorced at that time 7 years. Last year would be 7 years. And I go, the feather story. Like it just came out the blue. I was like, oh my God, this is, and what happened was this. I had a video that went viral where I talked about, I'm not concerned about the body count of a woman. I said she could have been with 25, 35 men. The version of her that I'll get is a version no man has ever gotten because I know how to cultivate that woman. And that video just took off with women like, protect this man at all costs. You know what I'm saying?
I already know.
Yeah, protect him at all costs. And I was just like, wow. And then I shared another video, didn't get as many views, that said, but the reason why I learned this is because I didn't provide a safe space for a woman. Now that video may have got like 75,000, the other one got like 6 million, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. But in that video, what prompted that video was God began to tell me about the feather story. And I said, wow, if we listen keenly enough to the needs of a woman, she's sharing it. She may share it in a touch. She'd be like, hey baby, she may lay on your shoulder, but then every time she lays on you, you think it's time for you to have sex. So you start putting your hand between her legs. She's like, come on, just lay here. And you're like, Well, she just said it. Just lay here. Just let me find this moment. Just lay on your shoulders. That's enough. Let her lay on her shoulders. Give her a massage. She say, my back hurt. Give her a massage without it leading to sex. And just walk away. She'll be like, oh, that's it? You're like, yeah, I took care of you. She's going to be like, well, okay. And the next thing you know, she may flip it on you, like, you better come over and give me some. But initially, she was just like, oh, my shoulders hurt, give me a massage. You like, all right, this is foreplay. No, let it just stay right there and be like, you good? You taken care of? And so if you listen to your woman, because all women are different, that very rarely will you find anybody that has never communicated what their needs are. It's very rare. If you listen long enough and you listen to the beginning of your relationship and the things y'all got in arguments about, disagreements about, points of contention about, they've said it. They'll say, you don't spend enough time with me. You're like, I'm working, I'm doing this or whatever, blah, 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 blah. It may show up in, I'm not gonna have sex with you. She ain't never said, give me time, I'll give you sex. But so you just say, all right, she don't want to give me none or whatever. What did she say her need was? You don't spend time with me. You don't take me out enough. You don't tell me you love me enough. You don't tell me I'm beautiful. Whatever those things that she said that she stopped saying, and you feel whatever she was doing for you that she stopped doing, reverse engineer that thing and say, what was she asking me for? Because she stopped on this and I love when she was cooking for me, but now she don't cook for me because she said I don't appreciate it. Why she say I don't appreciate her cooking? I've always loved for her to cook. Now she said I don't appreciate her. First she said I don't appreciate the cooking. Now she said I don't even appreciate her. What in the world is going on? I do love when she cook. She don't appreciate it. What is she doing? Oh, she's cooking for me, but I don't even say thank you no more because I'm just so used to it. And I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and then so if now she's cooking for you, like, you know what? You and I both have day jobs. We both work. And you take time every day. I don't know how you do it. You're a superwoman. You go, you cook. You go work. You're a boss at your job. You come home and then you cook for me. I thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're an amazing woman. She's gonna be like, what? Yeah, and I just want to show you that I appreciate you. And tomorrow you ain't got to cook. I'm gonna take you out to this restaurant you've been always talking about. You want to go to? What? I guarantee you're gonna get you some after that. I guarantee you your needs are gonna be met. Women are incubators. You can take something, deposit it in a woman, she's gonna always give you back more than you've ever deposited into her. But if you deposit selfishness in her, if you deposit anger because you're mad at her all the time, she's gonna incubate that anger and you're gonna get it back in a different way. You give her a seed, she incubates that, gives you a child. She gives you something greater than you'll ever give her. And so that's what I say for a man who says, yeah, she ain't telling me what she wants. She said it, you just wasn't listening.
And
that's very, very, very practical advice.
Very practical.
Yeah.
And I can see how men struggle with that because, like, most guys, they have different women to meet different needs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'll have this one here for some sex. This one here, I like to go have some fun with. This one here, I like to do this.
Yep.
So now to have one woman meet all your needs can almost feel like a very weak place for a man. Because if it's not working, like if the need ain't, it's like almost like the woman, you think the woman broke.
Yeah.
like what's going on right now? I got it. Like you think you got to go elsewhere, and you may not have even trained yourself to know how to cultivate a woman. Most guys not even trained in cultivation in a woman because that's not how they've operated. It's like, okay, I can't get it here. Let me go somewhere else.
Yes.
So I can imagine like cultivation is really a skill set.
Yeah.
It takes an exceptional, what should be standard, but an exceptional level of attentiveness. And I think most guys, when they realize or they come to the realization that effective communication is important to the relationship, they think that is us clearly stating intentions, needs, expectations. But they also have to understand the dynamics of a woman.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to decode and decipher these certain subtle communications. So is there a certain strategy that you have for learning how a woman operates?
Well, like I said, every woman is different. Talk. One of the things that they say most men don't do, unfortunately, is they don't talk enough. They don't share their heart. They don't ask a woman. Just ask her. Just try it. I dare you, brother out there, just say, baby, what do you need more of me? She ain't gonna say nothing. She gonna say, well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. What made you ask me that? Oh my God, I've been wanting you to say that what made you, what did you watch in order for you to say that? Well, I don't know. I just feel like I just wanna know, what would you like more of me? I would like for you to do X, Y, Z. And she may give you a whole list because you may have left her uncovered for a long time.
For a minute.
I want you to do this. I want you to do that. You don't do this. You don't help with the kids. You don't spend time with this. You don't say, and then don't get defensive. You ask. She told you. Be a good student. Write it down. Okay. You need this. You need this. Okay. I can't promise I can do all of this in the next 3 days, but I'm going to work on all these things. And I'm going to continue to have checkpoints to ask how I'm doing. I'll say one of the things that I wish marriages had, and this is one of the things that I'm going to enact in my next marriage, is reviews. On a job, they're not going to let you just be doing whatever you want to do for a whole year. You have a 90-day review, you know, and it's funny when you get hired at a job, what's the first thing they put you on? They'll put you on a probationary period. Yeah, and they're going to say, all right, we hired you. You did good on the interview. We feel like we chose the right person, but we're going to see if what we feel is actually what we're going to get in return.
Yep.
And so they'll watch you. They'll see if you come to work on time. They see if you can take orders or whatnot, take directions, see how you perform on whatever that job is. And at the end of it, they go, your probationary period is over. If you failed in that situation, I'm sorry, but we're no longer going to.
Not going to be able to do it.
We're not going to be able to do it no more. But it was great while we had you. But go ahead and see HR and get your little box. They're going to have some security walk you out. If we had that in marriages where we say checkpoints, 90-day reviews, 60-day reviews, whatever, and literally go back and say, what am I doing? How am I performing? And literally have it questions, points out. This is what I need. This is who I am. And y'all look at it and be like, you've been doing good on communication, quality time, not so well. But I understand because you had a loss. Your father is battling cancer. You spend a lot of time in the hospital right now, whatever. But y'all can have checkpoints. Because what happens in marriages is when you hear a marriage that grew apart, or you hear people say, we got a divorce for irreconcilable differences, those are only problems that y'all couldn't resolve, that y'all probably didn't spend enough time trying to resolve. Y'all just said, we grew apart.
Unmaintenance relationships.
Yeah. How'd you grow apart from somebody? At the end of the day, that means that they went one direction and you went the other direction. We all evolve. And so giving each other grace for the evolution is what makes a relationship last till death do we part. So the person you said I do to at 25 is not going to be the same person that you still say I do to at 35 and 45 and 55, and definitely not 85. But if you go through those seasons together and be like, okay, when I met you, you were a school teacher. Now you're an entrepreneur trying to do a candle business. Well, you got to give that person a grace to say, as a human being, you have the right to not be doing the same thing you did at 25 and at 35. But what their needs are at 35, now running a candle business, is going to look different from a teacher. They're going to school, doing what they do. They get so many, they get the summer off, but now they're doing a candle business. They may be working 18-hour days. They doing this. They need you to help. You ain't never need to help them as a teacher, but now they're like, hey, can you carry these boxes from the car? Hey, I'm finna go set up at a trade show. Can you come with me? Like, God, I ain't want to be in the candle business. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, but as your spouse, you need to be able to say, listen, this is my woman, this is my husband. I'm finna come alongside of them and help them continue to fulfill their purpose. And so just listening to that person and asking them, what do you need? They're gonna always not. Now, if you got somebody that just don't talk and won't share what they need, or they're afraid that they're gonna hurt your feelings if they tell you that, that's another issue that you need to uncover, because that means that you haven't created a safe space where the person can be honest with you about what their needs are. And then at that point, then you need to get to therapy. I recommend therapy like crazy for husbands and wives, or even dating relationships before you even get there. Let's talk about some stuff so that we can prevent some stuff before it happens in the future.
I like that. And Latarius, so this is my personal opinion. Okay?
Let's talk.
I'm a firm believer that a good man can cheat. Now, I think a good man, right, the not so savage one, is going to have that levels of remorse and guilt that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
And I know you went over some of the few steps that you can take to get over that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you this, because I think this is a well known debate. Do you think that coming forward with your infidelity is part of that, is a mandatory part of that healing process?
Yes.
Wow.
Confess your faults one to another so that you may be healed. That's a scripture. Confess your faults one to another so that you may be healed. That's the initial process of healing. And it does two things in that process. A, you're able to admit. In the garden, they said, Adam, where are you? Well, of course, God knew where Adam was. But for him to say, hey, here I am, is another part of accountability, because he already had sinned. That's why he was hiding. So the first thing that we do when we do some wrong to somebody is we hide. I'm gonna hide it. I'm finna block this person, or I'm finna get me another phone so I can have this woman on the side or whatever. It was a woman on my podcast named Raven Hartwell. Shout out to her. She cheated on her husband, and moments later, I'm talking about moments, within the hour, called her husband and said, I just cheated on you.
I saw that episode. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Why you didn't like that she did it? What did you not like about that?
I didn't like that he took it back. That hurt my feelings. It always just hurt my feelings.
Why should he take it back?
Feel like you got cheated on.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I genuinely
Would you
feel
want
like
a woman to take you back?
I would.
But you see what I'm saying? We want
I won't
grace.
cheat. I ain't cheating. I won't even be in that situation. I ain't gonna cheat when I'm married.
Right.
I will never cheat. The reality is the same grace we want extended to us is the same grace we should give. So a lot of men hated that episode. A lot of men was like, that woman is this and that woman is that. That was you too. You had commented on that. Rich commented. It said hardly initiated. She never take it back. They went in on that. It's like he's a simp. Why would you take a woman that? It's the same thing too when we look at the same men that were mad at me. Matter of fact, shout out to the men that made that video go viral about the body count because they were so mad at me. He's a simp. What kind of man says he would take a woman that's been with 25, 35? And I said, y'all don't understand. This is what you don't know. I have a lot of female friends. A lot of my female friends, you probably seen them on the podcast or seen them somewhere and be like, ooh, if I get the opportunity, boy, I'll marry her. But you don't know her body count. And the reality is she will never tell you that because you know that if you have this toxic insecurity that she will never tell you the truth. She'll tell you a number that you may be comfortable with, but you'll never fully know what her number really is. What I say is if I'm taking you, flaws and all, whatever your decision, I said this best. I jumped on the live one day. This dude was on YouTube. He was just going off on me. He had my video up. He was like, I can't believe he's pandering, saying he'll want a woman, this. I said, I'm going to pull up. Let's talk. So I said, I'm just that dude. I said, we can talk. I said, back in the day, I would have pulled up on you a different way, but I'm saved, so I'm going to pull up on you on these YouTube streets. And so I said, so let's talk. I said, how do I fault a woman for running into a bunch of me's on her way to me? How do I fault her for running into a bunch of me's on the way to me? What I mean by that is that your boy had game. When I was in the streets, I could have sex with a woman real easily. It was easy. And so why would I get mad at her and say, well, you shouldn't have never had sex with anybody. You should have saved yourself for me. And I ain't saved myself for her. And so did I lose my value because I slept with people on the way? And did she lose her value? Or did God come and redeem me because I was operating in a level of brokenness that I didn't even realize my own body had value? See, men, we're not taught that our bodies have value too. You have these women that's taking these pinky promises and taking these vow of abstinence, but we don't hold ourselves to that same level of accountability. We can go smash the whole world, and we bring all these bodies to the bedroom and say, you need to accept this. You done had sex with 75 women. She done had sex with 7. You like, I can't believe you had sex with 7 women, dudes. Wow, you had sex with 6 dudes and 1 woman. I can't believe that. She's like, that happened in college. You're just, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and she said, how many have you had? 75. I'm a man. No, I'm supposed to have sex with that. You ought to be happy. I only had sex with 75. It could have been 175. You know, and it's like, what is it's a toxic mentality. Because we're all broken people looking for love. And whatever her pathway, especially when you begin to uncover what really led to the 7 or the 27 or the 35. And then she begins to tell you that, yeah, but you didn't, what I never ever told a soul that I'm gifting you with. Never told any man I've ever dated, but I'm gifting you with this. When I was 7 years old, I was sexually assaulted by my uncle. He was sexually assaulting me from 7 years old to 13 years old. Does that give you another reference? Well, but still, why couldn't you be the type that was, this is a person you want to marry though. This is the person that you said you love. This is the person you care about. If your grace can't cover a woman that operated in the way that wasn't ideal for you, then you're not deserving of a wife anyway. You don't deserve to be married because she's going to do some things in that marriage, hopefully not cheat.
Right.
But she may do some things in the marriage that you may not feel is ideal. Can your grace cover her? Because you're going to do some things in the marriage that's not ideal that you're going to expect her grace to cover you. And that's when we take those vows and we say, for better, for worse, what does worse look like? We always think about better. The worse, grace is needed. For poor, grace is needed. Through sickness, grace is needed. And we never ever think about the grace that keeps a marriage together. And that's why I say we don't have enough conversations about saying that, oh yeah, this woman's body count, well, I don't want her. Like, really? But then you go look at the superstars that you may see that may have a body count. You're like, oh, now if I had whoever this person is, fill in the name or whatever, you like, I'll be with her, I'll marry her, I'll wife her. Really? Really, you'll wife her, but the girl that your coworker or the woman that's not in the public eye, you don't have enough grace for her. It's crazy. We have this backwards mentality. And so I always say at the end of the day, we need to do love better by not only us being better, because that's the main part. We need to be better and do better so that we can receive better.